Hey everyone, my name is Kaikun6, and I'm here for the 4th episode of Playlist Stories. I'm gonna do this family edition one because I just thought that maybe, that way it'd give you an insight of like how my family is and how different we all are, and then hopefully, maybe you'll get to know them also with me during like this particular episode. So I compiled a list right here, as you can see, that each song reminds me of a certain member of my family, especially my immediate family. So there's a song that reminds me of my mom, my sister, my brother, and my dad. So I just thought that, well, I'll give you a little bit of background about this song, and then why does this song remind me so much of, a certain family member. So let's get on with it then. And, well, actually, before I start, if you hear any type of background noise, I do have some music playing in the background, and I just had to lower down the volume so I don't get copyright strike. And I have the AC on because it has been freaking hot lately. Like, we've had like almost like 2.5 weeks, at least here where I live at, of rain, and finally we're starting to get sun, so it's starting to get a little bit hotter. The lowest it's ever gotten here was like 69 degrees, I think, and then the highest was like almost close to 80. So it kind of felt cooler here in Texas, but not cool enough. But still, it was kind of like, it wouldn't hurt to wear, a little bit of a thin coat over it, or something stylish, but then it just got hot already, and I was just like, really, it's only Wednesday, and it's like, it's already hot. But anyway, so, and also, like, if you hear any buzzing noises, of course, not only is just the AC in the background, since we started finally getting sun out, our neighbors are mowing their lawns, and I think I just heard one going off just a while ago. So, alright, so there you go. So, let's start on this. The first song that was on my list that I wrote right here is called La Chona by Los Tucanes de Tijuana. This song really reminds me of my own mom. And just because, like, I remember Googling the lyrics, like, years ago when I was, like, a child. And I was just wondering, why does this song remind me so much of my mom? Because she would always say, like, man, this song is my jam. This so reminds me of myself. And I was just like, why? I just thought that maybe it was just, like, the certain lyrics described her. And then maybe that's why she thought it was her song or something. But no, it literally kind of described like my mom's previous life before she got married to my dad. Like when she was like younger, she used to go to dances and stuff, and she'll always had like a partner to dance with her and stuff. And then a lot of people couldn't like keep up with her or something. I don't know. I felt like, okay, maybe this song might describe my mom when she was younger. So I just remembered like this song playing so much in the background in my childhood, like almost every month, I want to say. Almost weekly, because there were some other songs that played in the background. But this song was just like, yeah, my mom plays the song a lot, and she's always like jamming and dancing, I just thought it was so funny. And she's like, hell yeah, this is my song, this song describes me. And I'd be like, okay, mom, whatever. Me and my sister will look at each other, we're like, okay, yeah, we get it. And then when I finally remember like Googling the lyrics years ago, it's just like, okay, now I can see why, So that's the only thing. And we always did weekly chores, so it was like one of those things that we got used to, like just her Mexican music. It was her Mexican music, some chores, and then yard work. It was just so much to do in like a week. It was like, like the only women in the house was just me and my sister and my mom, and we had to do all of that while my dad and my brother went to go fuck off somewhere. And we'll ask them for help, but sometimes they'll never give it to us, honestly. Sometimes my dad would help us with the yard work, like mow the front yard and stuff like that. But the cleaning, the dead grass, the dead leaves that were everywhere, that was up to us. My brother rarely did anything, but he always came home really like tired from work and stuff. So like if you asked him for help, it was like on a good day where he left early, and then he could help us with some yard work. But anyway, that was the thing. So then the next song that I'm going to be mentioning, it's not like one particular song. It's like all the songs in one band or whatever. But like my sister grew up with like listening to a lot of boy bands, so it was kind of like, you know, I bonded with her with, you know, a certain band because, like, you know, we were kids. I guess it's like we knew better, but then it was like, you know, my sister wanted something to like kind of like, you know, that could hit her in the soul. And this one, like, I just chose this song. It was just at random, but this band, it just reminds me of her. And the song I'm gonna be mentioning is called "Tearing Up My Heart" by NSYNC. She grew up with NSYNC, and so did I. My brother hated NSYNC. He was just like, I don't understand why these boy bands, like, is what all, like, girls think about. And I was just like, you'll never get it, Lee. You know, you'll never get it. And, you know, that's my nickname for my brother. You'll never get it. So then, you know, my sister, I gave her the nickname Bubba for so long. So it's like, I'm going to use that for my sister. And then for my brother, Luigi. So I remember this particular memory for sure because I was like, I can't believe I remember this. And so, like, years ago, my mom and I, and my sister, we would go wake up early in the morning almost every single Saturday. Wake up like at, I want to say 6 in the morning just to get ready, get breakfast. Or if not, we'll eat breakfast right on the road. And I remember she always packed like chocolate cereal with milk and stuff. Oh, it was just like really good memories. And so we'll go to like certain, you know, a certain city. Well, we always change every week, but like over there in California at this time, I think I want to say it was like Chino Hills. And we went to like this random person's house. They had like all their stuff like on foldable tables and stuff. And like my mom bought clothes for us from that lady, and it was like pretty cheap. And my sister was just like, I want to get a toy. And I was just like, what do you want to get? And it's like, I don't know, I want to get a stuffed toy. And I was like, all right, sure, let's see what we can find. We were looking around, and then all of a sudden she found one of the albums from NSYNC at the time, and she was like, I'm getting the CD. I don't care, I want the CD. Like, I have my allowance money, I will use it. And then my mom was just like, no, don't use your allowance money. Like, I'll buy it, and I'll buy it for you. She was like, are you sure? And I was like, yes. How much does it cost? I was like, it's $1. And she was like, the lady that was, you know, listening to us argue about this, I guess, was just laughing. And she was like, if you buy, you know, if you buy some other clothing for your kids, I could throw in that CD for free. And my sister's eyes lit up, and she was like, Mom, you better freaking do this, you know. And then my mom was like, all right, fine. Mom went back. She found some clothes that, like, I think they were meant for my brother. Because all I remember was like some jeans, some shorts, and like some shirts that maybe my brother would like. And at the time he was like into like horror movies, so there was like a lot of like Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, and I don't remember, like, it was just so many like shirts that had like a lot of monsters on them, or just nightmarish, you know, images on shirts. And it was really popular at the time, especially when you lived in like in the Inland Empire in California. So I just thought that was really, really funny and cool. So we got the CD, I remember, and then immediately my sister was like, I'm playing this shit, you know, I'm playing with this shit. So, and at the time we had like a little small stereo. Like, it was just so tiny. It was like the whole compartment was like this, and then we had like the two you know, speakers on the side, and they were just like, you know, 6 or 7 inches tall. So, and it was connected to to some of the wiring in the house. So, especially in the bedroom that she is in now, because that was my childhood bedroom. So now, like, you know, I moved out, so now she has that bedroom. So in that bedroom, my sister would plop in the CD, and then of course the first song that came up was this one, just Tearing Up My Heart. And then she'll like fall in love with, like, she immediately fall in love with the song, and then those other songs that came with the album. And then next thing you know, it became like her entire life, you know, like she freaking loves NSYNC, and I know she still does this up today. And then eventually it evolved to K-pop, and then some other genres that came with it later on in her life. But I just remember, just this particular band just reminds me so much of my sister. And I could have picked any song, but for some reason this one was like, it does remind me of my sister mainly. So I just thought, you know what, that's it. So, and it's just so hilarious. So then the next song on the list that I have wrote down, like I said, this one does not, you know, like, I know you guys are going to take it really wrong because of the song title and stuff, but honestly, there is no underlying meaning to it. All I remember was every single time the song came up on my playlist, straight up reminds me of my brother, because, and I'll explain it in a bit, but this song is called Eat You Alive by Limp Bizkit. And this one was from the album Results May Vary, like I said in the second episode. Like, this song is also in that album. And of course, as you guys know, Results May Vary is like my number one favorite album from Limp Bizkit. The second one has to be Gold Cobra. It really is, because when that CD also came out, like in 2012, I think. Oh my god, that's like so long ago. Like, I remember playing the shit out of that fucking album. I really did. And it became became the number one album for that year that I would listen to over and over again. And I still do. Like, I still have that album like saved on my Spotify playlist. So I just thought, well, you know, like, I'll play that. And then it went back to Results May Vary at some point, and then it just stuck by me like that. But I remember my brother would tell me, like, he had other favorite songs that that were from Limp Bizkit, and then from other, you know, other bands and stuff. And he was very eclectic. Like, he liked a lot of different types of genres of music. It's just he didn't like country. So I was like, and thanks to my brother, some of the music that he listens to, I listen to nowadays, and I'm freaking stubborn to listen to new ones. But I have been trying, you guys. I have been, because sometimes you listen to certain songs for a very long time, you kind of get bored of them in a way. But honestly, it might just depend on the mood or something. But anyway, so when my brother told me that this was his favorite song of all time, and he's been telling me that for years, but then other years before that and after that, like, it changed. It really did. It went from like some Linkin Park song over here, it went for Puddle of Mud, it went for you know, like Juanes, Mana, and I don't know, it changed. It changed every year. But I remember for so, like, maybe a decade long, like, this song was his favorite song, that Eat You Alive by Limp Bizkit. Like, and I was wondering why, because why was this his favorite song? And he told me that he dedicated this to an ex-girlfriend that he knew and that he really loved, that was like wifey material. And then all of a sudden it was just like, oh, well, you know, like, I'm no longer with her anymore, she broke my heart, this and this and this. And I was just like, oh, okay. And I remember for like weeks on end, he'll play the song in his car, or when it first came out on radio or something. Like, oh my goodness, it was like so overplayed. And it's just like one of those things that got stuck into my memory, where every single time this song came up, I could always see like how my brother looked like when he first heard the song, or like when, you know, whenever he listens to the song. And I was just like, well, I know you're not with her no more, but at least, you know, you're dating and you're happy, and that's all that matters, you know. And then this and this and this, you know. So I was just giving him, like, you know, hopefully heartwarming advice, and hopefully, you know, you don't have to take it to heart, but I just hope it helped. So that's it. Like, a lot of I remember telling this song to my friend Choji, because I remember playing it one time in his car, and he was just like, it sounds wrong, you know. And I was like, I know it does, because it has some other meanings to the song. But honestly, like, my brother just really liked this girlfriend at the time, and I don't know, it's like, it just reminds me so much of my brother. I don't know, it's just so weird. Anyway, and then the last song that I have written down, and excuse me if I get emotional or if I cry, this one is about my dad. And if you don't know anything about my dad, well, if you're a family member or a friend that have known me for years, then you guys should know what happened with my dad. But if you're new to this channel, or just new to knowing me, my dad died of COVID back in July of 2020, when the activity was freaking high over there in California. Like, oh, it was devastating, because nobody knew how to deal with it. Nobody expected him to die. Of course, I didn't. And it was just so strange. And so it was kind of hard to deal with, honestly. Like, I felt like I grieved enough, but then, you know, the emotional baggage that came after that, it still affects me as of today. So if, like I said, if I start getting emotional or tear up for a little bit, then excuse me. It was like a recent death, and oh, it was just terrible. So this song is called Amor De Papel by Sentidos, Opuestos. Like, the why this song reminds me so much of my dad was because of the same thing with my mom. The song was played so much on the radio, and like every single time I came home from school, or for even, you know, just for hanging out with friends, this song would play so much in the background whenever he was doing, you know, his mechanic stuff, like helping his clients out on the driveway to fix the cars or something, because that's what he really did. He was like an at-home mechanic. So when he did that, the song came up, and then of course, like, it made the other clients cringe, because it was just like, bro, like, what the fuck, you know, we heard the song so many times, but my dad was just like, I just really like the song, you know, and he never told me why it was like one of his favorite songs. Like, he had other songs too, like I have other songs that reminds me of my dad, but this particular one was like the one that really, really was like, yes, this should remind you so much of your dad, and it does. So what's it called? All I remember was like listening to this song a while ago, maybe like, I want to say a year or so ago now, because I remember it was like recent, because I was just like, oh, my dad passed away, I want to see if we could dedicate a song to him or something, and we couldn't find anything particular. And of course, my family listening to certain songs that he's played in the radio for so long, they're just like, we don't want to hear it no more. And I was just like, okay, fine. So whatever songs that he played often, I have it saved on my playlist on here. So, but this song just reminds me so much of my dad. And when I googled the lyrics for this, I was like, oh, now I know what's it about. He dedicated the song to my mom when they first you know, when they first got divorced, which is really strange. Because my dad really loved my mom, of course, but like, he treated her like crap. He really did. And my mom was just like, I ain't having it. I'm not. I want to get a divorce, and this and that, and that was it. So then my dad would play this song a lot, and I didn't understand why. I just thought, oh, maybe that's his favorite song, but no. It was because of his resentment towards my mom for divorcing him or something. So I just like, oh yeah. And the crazy part was, he still lived with us even after the divorce. So he never moved out, and he never did. The only time that he officially left the house was when he actually died. Kind of fucking sad, and really a lot to deal with, but it was true. So yeah, that's it. That's the list that I compiled, and that's it. Maybe I should do like another friend, like a, not another family edition, but I'm thinking about doing like a friend edition to, like, you know, talk about a certain, you know, best friend or friend that I'm very close with that reminds me of these person, and maybe like talk about like my background with this certain person and why I'm still friends with them or no longer friends with them no more, so that way y'all can have an insight of like who are my circle of friends, honestly. Like I don't know, I just thought that maybe it'd be something I could share with, and then tell you some crazy ass stories along the way, like what I remembered, and who knows, maybe one day one of my friends would jump on the video with me and explain their story. Excuse me, I had breakfast earlier, so now I'm burping it up. So yeah, so that's the end of the episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and that you know, got to know a little bit about me and my family, mainly my family, since it is the family edition of the episode. So if you have any particular songs that reminds you of certain, you know, people, it could be your parents, it could be your siblings, your cousins, your aunts and uncles, in-laws, anything, or it could be friends or family friends, or just like, you know, a stranger, I don't know, like a stranger that you met at a freaking supermarket or something, I don't know. Like, go ahead and comment below what song reminds you of them, and then, you know, see if there's like a background story on them, and then, you know, I'll be able to read it, or if not, I'll probably get some feedback from everybody else. So there you go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode, and that hopefully y'all have a wonderful day and a wonderful week, and I'll see you guys next week with hopefully next week will be like a friends edition type of thing, and then hopefully I'll go back to like a really funny my love life, like how I'll describe what happened during my time in high school, like how I thought I was very unlucky with love, but then, you know, I started dating guys or getting an interest in guys, and then, you know, whatever whatever happened. So hopefully next week I'll do an edition for a friend that I'm no longer talking to anymore, and I'll tell you why. So stay tuned, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye everyone.